Giallos are strikingly different from American crime films. They value style and plot over characterization and tend toward unapologetic display of violence and taboo exploration. The genre is known for stylistic excess, characterized by unnatural yet intriguing lighting techniques, convoluted plot, red herring, extended murder sequences, excessive bloodletting, stylish camera work, and unusual music arrangements. Viaggio Celebrity presents Top 10 Giallo movies. Number 10. The Case of the Scorpion's Tail, 1971. Like all of Sergio Martino films, The Case of the Scorpion Tail is a visual treat. Martino always endeavored to do something interesting visually. Here, prodigious zooming, a plethora of unconventional angles, strange composition, and fluid camera work to help escalate the tension. Martino also uses innumerable color gels to maximum effect, morose than in his previous work. And the score is truly mesmerizing, especially the main theme. There are enough devilish plot twists to keep viewers on their toes and guessing the identity of the killer right until the very end. Number 9. The New York Reaper, 1982. In the hierarchy of Italian horror, Lucio Fulci usually doesn't get his due. Many fans will place him below Argento and Bava, but I'd argue many of his films are far better. Fulci is admired for his on-screen appreciation of violence and brutality, but the man could also shoot a picture like nobody business. The New York Reaper is often targeted as misogynistic, as Fulci relegates the detective story aspect of the film to the background, focusing more on the killer atrocity instead, but the film is worth a watch for its intriguing cinematography. Outlandish gore, sleazy 70s New York setting, flashy set design, and a pair of truly suspenseful scenes, and yes, the ever-present unintentional humor. Number 8. Death Walk on High Hills, 1971. Death Walk on High Hill and Death Walk at Midnight were Italian co-production, and two of many Giallo films from director Luciano Ercoli. Made using most of the same main cast and crew, both High Hill and Midnight were vehicles for Spanish-born starlet Susan Scott, who starred in both films. High Hills revolve around a famed jewel thief who is slashed to death on a train after performing a heist. His daughter Nicole, a famous nightclub performer, is then stalked and terrorized in hope that the prowler will discover where the stash was hidden. Number 7. Seven Deaths in the Cat Eye, 1973. Seven Deaths in the Cat Eye seems like a case of the filmmakers going out of their way to distinguish themselves from the hundred of other Giallo films released, with a very strong supernatural underpinning to the proceedings and a specific focus on would-be animal murderers. But where Seven Deaths truly set itself apart from other Giallo is in its extremely gothic tone. The McGriff Castle is appropriately ancient and its stone hallways have statues of gargoyles and secret passageways. The movie is best described as what a Giallo film would look and feel like if it was made by Hammer Studios. Number 6. Tenebrae, 1982. Generally considered Dario Argento's last good film before a steep decline, Tenebrae was a return, after experiment with supernatural horror, to the classic Giallo formula: homicidal maniac, black leather gloves, the killer's point of view, convoluted plot twist, pulse-pounding music, and so on. Said to be Argento's most personal film, Tenebrae was reportedly inspired after Argento was struck by a fan. But more importantly, Tenebrae is his most self-reflexive work. Argento identified more closely with the killer in this film than any other. The murderer acts as an artist, snapping photographs of his own crime scenes, and kills someone after soft-lifting a book. Not to mention the murder of a film critic, accusing a man of misogyny much like Clint Eastwood, killing of a Polonil Kyle-like character in the Deadpool. Number 5. The House with Laughing Windows, 1976. The House with Laughing Windows opened and ended as a deathly serious meditation on suffering and art. This sense of dread begins with a series of highly disturbing images that play out in sepia tones, juxtaposed with the opening title cards. A man is chained, tortured, and repeatedly stabbed by two hooded figures. Tormented cries of pain give forth amidst the blurry imagery, and a grating voiceover speak, "Colors, my colors, they run from my veins, colors, sweet colors." Although this film doesn't conform to some convention of the genre, it does feed into a familiar meta-narrative: a mystery killer abound, a homicidal maniac stalking in the night, and a half dozen or so suspects at large. Number 4. Blood and Black Lace, 1964. Blood and Black Lace is light on story but rich in style. One of Mario Bava's most accomplished work, Blood and Black Lace is a beautiful piece of workmanship executed with dazzling, unparalleled use of bright color and deep shadow. Choreographed with cruel precision with an always mobile camera, Lace is a web of murder and intrigue, elevated to a higher level through Bava's visual flair. Some argue this started the Giallo genre, others credit Bay of Blood, but as noted further down this list, I always consider The Evil Eye to be the first true Giallo. Number 3. Hatchet for the Honeymoon, 1970. The general consensus on Hatchet for the Honeymoon is that it's a departure from the traditional Giallo formula, yet not one of the Bava's best, but I wholeheartedly disagree. Hatchet for the Honeymoon is further evidence of the legendary director's brilliance, and in fact, the film held a special place in Bava's heart since his own marriage, like the protagonist, was quickly coming to an end at the time of making the film. Hatchet is a clever mix of style and tone. The murder sequence are directed with panache on blood, but ratcheting up the tension to the max, and I especially love the opening scene in which John Harrington announces in his narration that he is mad, channeling the best of Anthony Perkins in Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Number 2. Opera, 1987. Opera collide with horror in this gory Giallo from director Dario Argento, fitting neatly with Argento's lavish stylistic and dark trademark as a filmmaker. Opera was Argento's most expensive production, and it shows in his color scheme, use of music, grand set design, and camera work, all of which are wildly inventive and appropriate. The film's chosen opera is an avant-garde rendition of Giuseppe Verdi's Macbeth, historically known for bringing bad omen to its cast and crew. Much like most of Argento's work, the dialogue is over the top, and the acting is at times hammy, but one can't deny its style and spectacular mood. Number 1. Suspiria, 1977. The king of Italian horror, Dario Argento, directed what many consider to be his masterpiece. Suspiria is one of the most important and influential genre movies ever made, an essential viewing for all horror fans. Argento's first major non-Giallo directing job doesn't stray too far from the style he established in his previous film Depraved. But Suspiria's overall charm resides in its technical triumph and visual style, not so much its story or surprise twist. Taking his cues from Mario Bava, Argento together with his director of photography Luciano Tovoli create a vibrant, colorful film quite apart from standard of the genre.